Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm Jason, your host.
And I'm Julia, your co-host. We're really happy you're here with us today.
Today's episode is about something very interesting and very important. We're talking about how to train your mouth to speak in English.
Yes, not just your brain, but your mouth. Because many learners understand English, they know grammar, they know vocabulary, but when they try to speak, something feels stuck.
Exactly. You might think, I know this word, so why can't I say it smoothly? That's because speaking is a physical skill, not only a mental one.
Your lips, your tongue, your jaw, all of them need practice, just like muscles in the gym.
So today, we're going to show you how to train your mouth step by step, how to make English sounds easier, clearer, and more natural.
We'll talk about simple exercises, common mistakes, and a daily routine you can follow at home, even if you don't have a teacher or a partner.
And don't worry, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to practice a little every day.
So if you want to sound more confident, more natural, and less nervous when you speak English, this episode is for you.
Let's get started. Julia, a lot of learners say something like, I understand English, but when I try to speak, my mouth feels slow or stiff. Why does that happen?
That's such a common feeling, and it's completely normal. The main reason is that your mouth was trained from childhood to speak your native language, not English.
So your mouth has habits already?
Exactly. Every language uses different movements of the lips, tongue, and jaw. When you start English, your mouth is like, hey, this is new. I don't usually move this way.
That explains why some sounds feel very strange, like the or the English R.
Yes, those sounds may not exist in your first language, so your mouth has never learned how to make them. It's like asking your hand to write with the other hand. It feels uncomfortable at first.
So it's not about intelligence. It's about training.
Right. Many learners think, something is wrong with me, but nothing is wrong. Your mouth just hasn't had enough practice yet.
Another thing is fear. When people are nervous, their muscles become tense.
Yes, fear makes your mouth tight. You're afraid of making mistakes, so your body becomes stiff and speaking becomes harder.
So the stiffness comes from two things: new physical movements and emotional tension.
Exactly. Once you relax and practice the movements again and again, your mouth slowly becomes more flexible.
So if your mouth feels stiff, that's actually a good sign. It means you're learning something new.
Yes, and with the right exercises, that stiffness will disappear.
So now that we know why the mouth feels stiff, let's talk about something interesting, how the mouth actually learns new sounds.
Yes, because speaking is not just language, it's also biology. Your mouth muscles learn sounds the same way your body learns any physical skill.
Like learning to ride a bike?
Exactly like that. At first, it feels awkward. You fall, you make mistakes, and your body doesn't move smoothly. But after enough practice, your body remembers what to do automatically.
So the mouth has memory too?
Yes, it's called muscle memory. When you repeat a sound many times, your brain creates a connection with the muscles in your lips, tongue, and jaw.
And that connection becomes stronger with repetition.
Right. The first time you try a sound, your brain is thinking very hard. After many repetitions, the movement becomes automatic. You don't think, you just speak.
That's how children learn to speak their first language.
Exactly. Children repeat sounds again and again, ba, ba, da, da, and no one tells them to stop because they're not perfect.
They're training their mouth naturally.
Yes, adults can do the same thing, but we need to practice on purpose.
So slow repetition is actually better than fast speaking?
Absolutely. Slow, clear repetition helps your brain and muscles connect correctly. If you go too fast, your mouth just uses old habits.
So the key is repeat slowly, clearly, and often.
Exactly. That's how your mouth learns new sounds, not through thinking, but through doing.
So if you want better pronunciation, you don't need more rules, you need more repetition.
Yes, kind repetition, patient repetition, daily repetition.
All right, now let's move into the practical part. Step 1. Training English sounds.
Yes, this is where real mouth training begins. Before sentences, before conversations, we start with sounds.
Because if the sounds are unclear, everything else becomes harder.
Exactly. English has some sounds that many languages don't have, so learners often avoid them or replace them with easier ones.
Let's talk about a few common ones.
One famous one is the thought sound, like in think or this. Many learners say tink or dis instead.
And the mouth position is very different. Your tongue actually goes between your teeth.
Yes, gently, not strongly, just a little forward.
Another difficult sound is the English R.
Right. In many languages, R is rolled or very strong. In English, it's softer, and the tongue pulls slightly back.
What about V and W?
Great example. V uses the teeth and lower lip very. W uses the lips only water. Many learners mix them.
So the goal is not just to hear the difference, but to feel the difference.
Yes, feel where your tongue is. Feel what your lips are doing.
So how should learners practice this?
First, choose a few difficult sounds. Second, practice them alone. Just the sound, not words, not sentences.
Like or, R.
Exactly. Use a mirror. Watch your mouth. Compare with a native speaker if you can.
So step 1 is slow, focused sound training.
Yes, build the foundation before building the house.
All right, Julia. Step 2 is what I like to call the mouth gym. Sounds fun, right?
Absolutely. Just like our body needs a gym to stay fit, our mouth muscles need exercises to stay flexible and strong for English.
Many learners don't realize it, but speaking English uses muscles in ways we never used before. Lips, tongue, jaw, they all need training.
Exactly. And the good news is, these exercises don't take long. Just a few minutes each day can make a big difference.
So, what kind of exercises are we talking about?
First, lip exercises. Stretch your lips wide like a big smile, then pucker them like you're whistling. Repeat 5 to 10 times. This helps with sounds like W and OO.
Next, tongue exercises. Stick your tongue out, move it side to side, touch the roof of your mouth, then the bottom. This is great for tricky sounds like th, r, and l.
And don't forget jaw exercises. Open your mouth wide, then relax. Repeat slowly. This keeps your jaw loose for faster, clearer speaking.
Another powerful exercise is shadowing. Pick a short sentence from a native speaker, listen carefully, then repeat it exactly same speed, same rhythm.
Yes, this trains your muscles and your ear at the same time. And a mirror is very helpful. Watch your lips and tongue to make sure you're doing it correctly.
So, the mouth gym is really simple. Warm up, repeat, focus on difficult sounds, and do it every day.
Exactly. Even 5 to 10 minutes daily will start making your English sound more natural in a few weeks.
Step 2, complete. Strong muscles, stronger speaking. All right, Julia, we've trained the sounds and done our mouth gym. Now it's time for step 3, from sounds to sentences.
Yes, This is where learners often get stuck. They can say words clearly, but when they try a full sentence, it becomes difficult.
Exactly. This happens because speaking sentences involves linking sounds, stress, and rhythm, not just saying words one by one.
Right. English is a connected language. Words in a sentence often flow into each other. For example, I want to go sounds like I want to go.
So if you only practice individual words, your mouth isn't ready for the flow of real English.
Exactly. That's why the next step is sentence practice. Start slowly, pronounce each word clearly, then gradually connect them.
And don't forget word stress. Some words are stronger, some are weaker. For example, in I want to go to the store, the main stress is on want and store.
Yes, practicing rhythm and intonation makes your English sound natural, not robotic.
A helpful exercise is chunking phrases. Instead of saying one long sentence, break it into smaller chunks. I want to go to the store. Repeat each chunk, then connect them slowly.
Also, shadowing works here too. Listen to a short sentence from a native speaker, then repeat it exactly same speed, same rhythm, same intonation.
Step 3 is really about building bridges, connecting sounds and words into smooth sentences.
Exactly. And remember, slow and clear is better than fast and messy. Speed will come naturally over time.
All right, Julia. We've practiced sounds, done the mouth gym, and moved from sounds to sentences. But there's one big obstacle left: fear of making mistakes.
Yes, Jason. Many learners know how to pronounce words and form sentences, but they hold back because they're afraid of being wrong.
And this fear actually tightens your mouth and slows your speech. Your muscles get tense, and suddenly all the exercises you've done feel useless.
Exactly. The first step is to accept that mistakes are normal. Even native speakers make mistakes sometimes.
That's true. Mistakes aren't failures. They're signals that your brain and mouth are learning something new.
A helpful tip is to practice in a safe environment first alone, in front of a mirror, or recording yourself. When you see or hear yourself making small errors, you learn without pressure.
Another tip is slow speaking. When you speak slowly, your mouth has more time to move correctly, and your brain can process words without stress.
Yes, and celebrate small successes. Even pronouncing a tricky sound correctly once is a victory.
The more you practice without fear, the more confident you become, and the more natural your English will sound.
So step 4 is really about relaxing, letting go of perfection, and building confidence.
Exactly. Mistakes are part of the training, not the enemy. All right, Julia. Now that we've learned all the steps, let's put everything together with a simple 10-minute daily routine.
Yes, consistency is key. Even a short, focused practice every day will make a huge difference.
Here's a simple breakdown. First, sound practice 3 minutes. Pick 2 to 3 difficult sounds, like th, r, or vw, and repeat them slowly, focusing on accuracy.
Next, sentence shadowing 4 minutes. Listen to a short sentence from a native speaker, then repeat it exactly same speed, same rhythm, same intonation.
Finally, free speaking 3 minutes. Talk about a topic you like, even if it's just to yourself. Try to connect words smoothly. Use correct pronunciation. And most importantly, don't worry about mistakes.
Doing this every day trains your mouth muscles, builds rhythm, and boosts confidence.
And the best part? You only need 10 minutes. Imagine doing this every day for a few weeks. Your English will start to sound much more natural.
Exactly. Small, consistent steps win the race.
Julia, even with all these exercises, many learners still make mistakes that slow down their progress.
Yes, Jason. Let's go over a few common ones. First, only listening and not speaking. Listening is important, but if you never move your mouth, your muscles don't learn.
Exactly. You need both input and output. Another mistake is speaking too fast too early. Many learners try to rush, and it ends up unclear and stressful.
Yes, slow and clear is always better than fast and messy. And one more common mistake, avoiding difficult sounds. If you skip them, you'll never master them.
So the key is to practice consistently. Focus on difficult areas and be patient with yourself.
Exactly. Mistakes are part of the learning process. Embrace them and keep going.
So, Julia, let's quickly recap what we've learned today.
Sure. Step 1. Train individual English sounds. Step 2. Do your mouth gym exercises daily. Step 3. Connect sounds into sentences. Step 4. Speak without fear of mistakes. And finally, follow a simple 10-minute daily routine.
Exactly. And remember, the key to success is consistency. Even small daily practice will make your mouth and your brain work together smoothly over time.
Yes, don't worry about mistakes. They are part of the learning journey. Focus on progress, not perfection.
And here's your challenge for today. Start your 10-minute routine right after this episode and commit to doing it every day this week.
That's right. Your mouth will start to feel more flexible, your speech will get clearer, and your confidence will grow.
Thanks for joining us today on the English Learning Podcast.
See you next time and keep practicing.